This is a story about salvation. I call it Bonnie and Clyde. I walked into a fast food restaurant where I used to study before COVID, and I noticed this disheveled couple sitting over by the bathroom in the back of the restaurant. And I spoke to them and I sat down. They looked dirty, they smelled bad. We sat like 2 seats from each other. They had this deer in the headlight kind of us against them look in their eyes. It was quite entertaining to look at these guys, but they looked a little scared, so I was concerned. So we'll call these two Bonnie and Clyde. I looked at them and I said, how you doing? They spoke back. I said, what's your story? And then they started telling me. Clyde told me that he was severely beat by his father growing up, that his mother tried to run over his pregnant girlfriend just recently, and all the things in between. And he said, I'm slow. He said, but I'm not totally stupid. And I think what he meant by that was that his family had verbally and mentally abused him and belittled him over his lifetime. And he said that he has been homeless since he's been around 14 years old, off and on. So I asked him, what do you guys know about salvation? And he said, well, my grandmother told me that if you're a good person, and that you do the best you can, you'll get to heaven. I said, hey, can I be straight up with you for a second? He said, yeah. And I said, your grandmother's wrong, dude. And he, instead of being upset about it, he actually was more intrigued about what was coming next. So I described the condition of mankind in the eyes of God and our need for salvation. I shared with him, that Jesus was sent to meet that need, that there was nothing we could do on our own, and that if we were going to go to judgment in front of God right now without Jesus, that we would be judged by our deeds, and that would be totally bad. And we'd end up separated from him for eternity, and that's hell. There's a place for that. So they both didn't want to go there, and I said, look, do you want to know Jesus today? And they both looked at each other and they were like, yeah, I think we do. That was amazing. These 22-year-old kids, homeless. She was pregnant, by the way. Bonnie was pregnant. They were homeless. And yeah, there's a need for Jesus, but sometimes when we need Jesus the most is when we're more accepting of him. So they needed to know Jesus, and they were in that position. I ended up putting them in a hotel. I fed them. For the next couple of days, we spent time together, and then I didn't hear anything from them anymore. But as far as the story goes, amazing salvation. I'm thankful that I got to meet them, and I pray that their life is continually growing in Jesus Christ. So, if you're interested in stories like this, salvation stories, you can click above or below or wherever the link is and go to my website and read more stories about salvation. That's our primary concern here in this ministry. And once we go through, lead people to Jesus, we start working on deliverance, healing, things like that. Things where you start getting the soul prepared for your relationship with Jesus. So if you're interested in these things, leave me a comment. You can go to the contact us page on my website. You can let me know if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, or you want to contribute in any way to this ministry. We appreciate your time. I thank you for this. Leave me a message and let me know what you think about the story of the salvation of Bonnie and Clyde. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Have a great day.